Not long ago, an officer from the Reserve Officers Training Corps was appointed as the Chief of Staff of the Army for the first time in Korean history. Have you ever heard of ROTC? Today, we'll find out more about commissioned officers. What is a commissioned officer? A commissioned officer is a soldier with a rank of second lieutenant or higher. They command and control soldiers. The ranks of the Army can be largely divided into soldiers, non-commissioned officers, and commissioned officers. Soldiers are common soldiers who are fulfilling their obligation of military service, and non-commissioned officers, staff sergeant, and commissioned officers are professional career soldiers. Commissioned officers can be divided into company officers, field officers, and general officers. Second lieutenant, first lieutenant, and captain belong in this category and usually led platoons or companies. On average, you can be promoted to become a field officer after 10 years of service as a company officer, 1 year as a second lieutenant, 2 years as a first lieutenant, and 7 years as a captain. Field officers include major, lieutenant colonel, and they perform duties as the head of regiments or brigades, or the staff of divisions. After working as a field officer for 15 years, on average 6 years as a major, 5 years as a lieutenant colonel, and 4 years as a colonel, you can be promoted to a general officer. A general officer is called a general. It is incredibly difficult for a colonel to become a general officer. General officers include brigadier general, major general, lieutenant general, general, and field marshal. But we have never had a field marshal in the history of Korea. How to be commissioned as an officer? There are largely 2 ways to be commissioned as an officer. The first is to graduate from a military academy. Students learn skills and technology on national defense, including military training, physical fitness training, weapons technology, strategy, and tactics. The second way is through the Korea Army Officer Candidate School and the ROTC. The Korea Army Officer Candidate School is where a graduate of a 4-year university takes a test to become a commissioned officer, and the ROTC is where a student is trained through a program in university to become a commissioned officer. Until now, the Chief of Staff of the Army was a graduate of the military academy, but for the first time in history, a general from the ROTC has been appointed as the CSA. It will be interesting to note how the military culture changes as a result.